Hello and welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is a place where we talk all things life transformation, personal development, self-growth, self-love, self-worth, self-healing. Hello there. My name is Natasha and I'm so excited to be here with you today. This is an absolute privilege. This is an honor. I am really lucky to be here. I'm really lucky to have the courage to speak my truth, and I'm really proud of myself for personal growth. Not everybody around me may understand or may relate or feel like I am doing enough, or whatever they think. I am learning how to be okay with that. It isn't easy. Today was one of those days. It was definitely an up and down day. Like, started off good and then had some bad news. Then, it was like, but I didn't let the news stop me. It was like, okay, well, what are we going to do with it? My gym that I love, that my dad, this was a gift that he had given to me a few years ago. And he's having some financial difficulties. And, like I said before, this was like the one thing he did for me. And I could sit here and split hairs over it, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have a lot of money. And I wish I was in a better position to where I can say, hey, Dad, let me support you now in the gym. I'm not quite there yet. But our gym is ending. Our membership is ending. And, so what do? You're faced with a decision. And like, this is not a life or death thing, but it's a really expensive gym. And so I've had this privilege of being able to cultivate this relationship with a gym in the first place, because first off, I felt like the biggest imposter even thinking about walking in. I felt like just so unaccepted. So like, to have the absolute polar opposite happen over time and have like everybody's arms surround me and have been this place where I could go when there's been a death in my family, wherein there has been, a separation, where my husband has moved out, and where my kids have had injuries, and then had this community there for me. And also for me to have had the privilege to support other members that are on their own like physical journeys, on their own career journeys, on their own spiritual journeys, on their own relationship journeys. And I just feel so blessed to have this community. But here I am. Now I'm at a crossroads, and it's like, what do? I want to be a member of this gym, but it's expensive. And right now the finances are all in trouble, but we'll get there. So, here's the thing is, yeah, it's like a car payment. Okay, maybe not a bougie car payment, but it is a car payment. But there is no price to like how I feel when I go there. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do it. And now I'm reaching out to like everybody and their mother that I know and saying, hi, do you guys have anything? Because they have this thing that's like a shared membership. So if you go in solo, it's like way ridiculously extremely amount. But if you share your membership with 6 people, it takes the price down significantly. And so, hello, of course I want to share the membership. So I'm hoping that I can get on somebody's plan, or, if not, worst comes to worst, I can start my own and then, bring some people in. So that would be lovely, a lovely, lovely, lovely option. So, that was kind of a setback, but then I had a really good class. My back was hurting a little bit, but I took it slow and I got through it, and I was able to do 2 classes. And then I got a massage, like they have this little hydro water massage. And I was like, I would miss this so much too. So I did a little 10-minute of that. And then I went and did a couple errands, and I came back home and I started working on some of the things that I needed to. The truth of the matter is, I have some small inheritances from my uncle and my aunt. And one has passed away now almost 5 years ago, and one has passed away almost 3 years ago. And the thing is, for me, I want them. I want their stories. I want their presence. I don't want their freaking money. I don't want these things. However, at this very moment in time, I kind of need it. And, getting in that accident the other day, almost getting in an accident, knock on wood, the other day, was this reminder that I have a lot of loose ends out there, that just because I simply don't want to deal with them, they're not going to go away. And if I do pass, then it kind of becomes even more sticky, right? It's sticky and tricky all in one. to where my kids would, if they could even figure out where this stuff was, you know, how to do it all in the middle of grieving. Like, I don't want to deal with that. So for their sakes and for mine, for this moment in time, I have to do the things that I don't want to do. I have to deal with the banks, and I have to deal with paperwork, and possibly have to deal with probate. And I don't want to, but a lot of things in life we got to do even though we don't want to. So again, this is one of those things that I'm grateful for Chris for, because had it not been he left, had it not been I got really uncomfortable, I would still be kicking the can down the curb. It's one of those things that's been on my to-do list for 5 and 3 years. You know, like, it's been here for a long time. And it's not enough that I'm going to be able to go out and, you know, buy a lifetime membership at the gym or anything. But it's enough to get me by this hurdle. It's enough to get me through to where I don't feel rushed in making a decision and feel like, yeah, you know, on a financial aspect, Chris being back here and contributing and would be so lovely, right? It would be so great because he is back here, but he's, you know, contributing in different ways, and you know, it would be nice, but here we are. This isn't, you know, this is what the situation is, and I don't want to rush it because of money. Like, that's not what my intentions are. It's not worth dragging along my own emotions or his emotions for convenience of, you know, financial convenience. Like, for me, that's just not enough. So I'm really working at that. And then, you know, I have a couple highs, and I come home, and my daughter's frustrated because, you know, she doesn't feel like, you know, she's being heard because Chris is being here. And, you know, I go back and forth. I am, you know, she doesn't see the side of the story in which we are, you know, being sympathetic to her experience and not trying to be in her face. You know, we go up to my room, we sometimes come downstairs, and I get it. Like, I get it. There's limited space, and, you know, I've offered her my room again. Like, I've done what I can. Chris has offered her a room in his house. Like, there isn't an answer that's perfect for her. And so we kind of feel like, I don't know, it's kind of just stressful anyways. So I really hope that we can find a solution. And because I don't, you know, I understand, hold on, I'm going to pause it. Hold on. Sorry, I'm back. So I felt so distracted. Oh my gosh. But that was one of my friends who was getting me back to me about that gym. So I was like, yeah, I need to just say something. So it's pretty cool. Like, I'm finding options, and I love being able to have a community and resources to be like, hey, let's make this happen. So I've got these things going. I struggled with my daughter again today, but I won. I feel like I was able to communicate what I wanted to say. I felt like I was able to hear her. I know she didn't think I could hear her, and I know that she's having her own experience, and I just don't want to play into this game anymore. And so it is what it is, and I really do hope for the best for our future, because I adore this. I mean, literally, there is no other female on this planet I love more than her, and it just breaks my heart. But she is a firecracker. She is her parents' child, and I would expect nothing more. And I'm really proud of her, even in this, for standing up for what it is she believes in. Does that mean you're always going to get your way? No, but you're having the courage to speak your truth. And that is the important part, because, again, for so long, I didn't know what my truth was. And, you know, kudos to her for being able to speak it. I'm sorry to her that I'm not able to give and do more to accommodate every one of her wishes and wants. I want to take every hurt and pain away, and I can't. And that's part of the life process. And then I got some good news. So I'm like 2 of 3 things that I need to do in order to get this loan back into out of suspension thing. That doesn't mean it. There's going to be other conditions and other things, but at least to get this ball rolling again, because right now it is stifled. And so I felt like today was definitely one of those days, was filled with highs and lows, but a lot of problem solving. I, you know, used my daily dose of dysregulation in the shower, got through it all. I'm really thinking I'm on this perimenopausal thing, because like things ain't normal, and I'm a pretty normal and consistent person, which brings a little bit of like anticipation, right? Like, I'm excited in some ways to go through this other thing, because guys and gals, I am done buying the freaking feminine products. I am done with having to worry about not wearing white and whatever it is. But I'm also like, you know, like suddenly noticing more gray and just feeling different. Like, And I really want to embrace this next part of my journey, but I'm also a little bit like apprehensive about it, right? Like all I've known since I was 11 years old is this thing that comes every 20 something days, except for when I was pregnant. And so that's why when it was a little bit off, I'm like, am I pregnant? Like, is this possible? I'm like 48 years old. Like my husband's been fixed, but oh my gosh, like I've had 3 kids like on birth control. Like, what? Like, it's possible for me. So like I was like nervous, but no, that is not the thing, guys. You don't have to worry about that one. And then I also go tomorrow again. I'm doing a consult because, you know, I go through this thing. I've got this huge apron belly, and in the leggings, it can kind of get past, you know, like it's fine. You put on enough Spanx and it's fine. But here's the thing. It weighs a freaking ton, and my back is hurting. And I'm like, is it hurting because of this? Like, I will try anything. And at the end of the day, like, I've done a lot. I've fasted a lot. I've ate good. I've ate not so good. Like, I have done the work. I do the ab workouts. I do the things, and I just feel like sad. And when I'm like doing something and the belly is hanging over, and like it's just this like extra force of skin, and it's heavy. And so, you know, I've given it time to snap back, and it hasn't quite got there. And I mean, I have never liked the way I looked in any jean ever. So I would love to be able to throw on a pair of jeans, and this like, you know, poochy thing that's not even a poochy thing, this apron of skin that's there not be there. And so I'm gonna do another consult tomorrow, because I'm not doing like a full tuck or anything like that. Listen, this is like through insurance, so it's gonna be bare bone minimum, but this is all I need. It's just for like my back's sake, for my heart's sake. So we're gonna see if I decide to do it or not. I'm kind of leaning. For so long I didn't care, and I was like, whatever. But as I'm getting older and realizing gravity is working against me and not with me, that I really would love to be able to not have this pain. And if carrying around this extra 20 pounds of skin is causing anything that exasperates my back, like, I am ready to say goodbye to you. Like, we have had a good time, skin, but you know, you've housed my babies and stuff, but I'm ready for this next chapter. And if I want to put, you know, the skin to like use someplace else, like, go be it. Like, can you donate it somewhere? Like, I don't need all this. So I do consult again tomorrow, and we'll see what happens from there, because we're, you know, have to petition for the insurance to cover everything and whatever and not. So that's where I'm at with that. And, you know, again, Chris and I, like I explained to my daughter, you know, she's like, is he going to be here every day? I'm like, let's just go under the assumption that yes. Like, there are days he's not going to be here. There's, you know, days that he has appointments and he has other things, and I have life and he has life, and life gets just life in. And right now, like, one of my favorite parts of my day is being in his arms. And it's weird for me. It's a good weird though. Like, I think for so long, I was always looking out for who else was out there. Like, not who else was out there. Like, I was just looking to be treated nice. So anybody who would treat me with any kind of niceness, I would just gravitate to. I would be so grateful for. And here I am. Like, how lucky am I? Like, my husband is treating me kind, and I'm treating my husband kind. I get him treats, and I listen to his stories, and I care, and I am showing up the best way I can. I cuddle, I tickle him, like, of everything we do. Like, honestly, just laying there in his arms, it just melts away the day. Like, I feel safe. I feel secure. I feel loved. And I feel great because I'm also giving those things. So I get it that she doesn't understand it. I would be confused as hell if I was her too. I would not want this. I would be like, listen, you guys involve me too much in your relationship. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to see it anymore. But I hope that she can see that I'm happy, and I hope that she can see what I'm doing and speaking my truth, even though it doesn't align with hers. And so today is one of those days where I just really like to appreciate what I have. I love to appreciate the growth, that the day started with bad news and I didn't let it consume me. Instead, I let it fuel me. I let it say, okay, this happened. What are we going to do? How am I going to respond? Am I going to lay down and never go to the gym again? Or am I going to reach out to the connections I have and say, hey, if anybody knows somebody, let's, put me in, let me help out here. So that's one great thing. And another thing is I was able to get things done. I was able to push past a mental block. I have an appointment tomorrow to go over some documentation I have not really wanted to go over or deal with. But it's going to help me get me through this next little hurdle until I can get my project fixed and I can get my stuff going and start generating some income of my own. And once I have these two big projects that are just sucking life out of me, for a less of better words, I'll have more time to devote to this. I'll have more time to do the things that I want to do and progress with my book and progress with putting in proposals to maybe I can do a TED Talk. Maybe I can do like these things. I would love to be able to go speak publicly somewhere, but where do I go? How do I do it? I would love to. Do you know how many families are sitting in hospitals and they look like, it's the saddest day because it is, and it's sometimes so hard to see the hope, and it's so hard to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that in order to see the rainbow, we all have to learn how to withstand a little rain, and sometimes it's a lot, and sometimes it's a whole storm, and I'm just here to say, like, if I can do any of these things, like, honestly, so many odds have been against me. My back has been pushed up the wall. I have never done anything and been fully supported in it. Like, it has felt like so many times it was me against the world. But what I've realized now is that built the grit. That built the resilience. And so now when I know it isn't me against the world, it's me with the world. Like, I have friends. I have allies. I have partners. And I have to, in order to get those things, I have to articulate. Nobody at the gym would know that I needed I need somebody to do it. But I've had people call me. I've had people say, okay, I'm the right person. I'm going to reach out to this. Like, I've had people offer to help into this situation and find a solution, not only for me, but for others too that are in this situation. So I believe wholeheartedly, I believe firmly that everything I've learned and thought I needed to persevere on my own has prepared me for this, has given me the courage to say, I need help. I don't know how to do this on my own. I don't want to do this I don't want to pay $250 to go to the gym, whatever it may be. I now have this gift, this beautiful gift of my voice, this beautiful gift of being able to articulate what it is that I need and find the resources to do it and not get kicked down just because I had some unfortunate news. I am going to keep persevering no matter what happens. I'm going to keep going and keep moving forward with all of my tasks and my projects. And then tonight I'm cooking a really cool meal that I haven't cooked, but I've had in a restaurant. And so we're going to dupe it out in our own way. And I'm excited for that. And Chris wants to cook with me. And I think, isn't that fun? Like, so many times it was his night. It was my night. It was leftover night. Well, at first it was always my night. And it was just like a bonus if all of a sudden he said he was going to cook, or if I was like, I can't cook, and then he would do something, right? But like, to be able to cook with him, I don't like to cook, but to be able to do something in a partnership that we accomplish together, and we can talk and spend time in the kitchen and giggle and do things like that is so beautiful to me. And I know that maybe to somebody else that may not be spending time or whatever. And I don't really like cooking, but I also don't like going out to eat all the time. Especially I'd like to have family, dinner with my family. So I'm hoping here to have a great evening with Chris. I know for sure my two boys are joining. And again, one of my kids posted something and I was not appreciative of it. Let me just tell you, I was not appreciative of it. And then I'm getting trouble from the, older siblings because I don't go on these things. So he got in trouble. He is in big trouble. And I said, you better pull that down because this is not how we represent ourselves. And so again, like, it was just one of those days. It was upsy downsies, but I was able to get through it. So I'm really excited. I'm really proud that I was able to tune into you, even though I'm going to have to, again, learn how to chop these two together. I always forget. And so I have to relearn. I just did this yesterday and I was like, oh my goodness, got to get it together, girl. But it's coming. I promise. It's going to get even better. I know it. And I'm just so proud of you for tuning in and being a part of this journey. So whatever you're experiencing, if you're having a day filled with highs, a day filled with lows, or like mine today where it was everything in between, just know that you are amazing and incredible for getting through it. You are not being defined by what's happening. You are not a victim of it. You are victorious. And I love that about you. I love that you keep going no matter what keeps coming. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please go out there today. First, give yourself a big old smile. Give yourself a compliment. Share your compliment down below. Like, what are you complimenting? Today, I don't know, for some reason, this green is popping off with the green. So I'm going to say, you know what, today, Natasha, you have some really cool eyes. And that's my compliment for today. So then give yourself a big smile. Give yourself a compliment. Then go out there today. Give somebody else a big smile. Give somebody else a compliment. And just watch how they glow up. And you glow up together. So thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.